Ukrainians already has some officials calling for changes to immigration rules. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security telling border officials that Ukrainians may be exempt from existing asylum limits. Joining us now to talk more about possible changes to policy in immigration is attorney Kate Lincoln Goldfinch. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So the U.S. government has made it clear that America will welcome Ukrainian refugees, and the president called this a responsibility. How hard or easy is it for them to get asylum and make their way here?
It's very difficult. Right now, we have a border closure along the southern border to all asylum seekers. It's called Title 42, and it's been in place for over 2 years under a COVID safety argument that says that no asylum seeker can come into the United States, and it has applied to asylum seekers from all over the globe for the last 2 years. We are currently seeing it applied to Ukrainian and Russian asylum seekers as well along the southern border. And this is a policy that has needed changing for a while. And now I think that the Ukrainian crisis and the refugees arriving at our border are helping shine a light on the situation.
But this is only along the southern border, right? I mean, Ukrainians aren't typically coming through only the southern border, are they?
Right. So if someone from Ukraine already has a visa, maybe a tourist visa or some other type of visa to enter the United States, they can fly in and they wouldn't be seeking asylum at the airport. There's no way to get on a flight and arrive at the airport if you don't already have a legal way to get here. So the Ukrainians who are fleeing and they have no other way to get to the United States would have to arrive at the border and seek asylum. And they are being turned away, just like all other asylum seekers. There are some special ways that they can apply for exceptions, but they are, like all the other refugees and asylum seekers, remain in Mexico, and it's very dangerous for them. They're subject to kidnapping by the cartels, and it's a very dangerous situation, as it has been for all asylum seekers for the last few years.
And the disparity among immigrant populations, right? When we talk about TPS for Ukraine, that was announced within days of the war, but it took 6 months, for example, for refugees from Afghanistan. Is there a big disparity here?
I think that there is. We are seeing a disparity in the swiftness with which TPS was granted for people from Haiti. We haven't seen TPS for people fleeing gang violence from Central America in recent years. As you mentioned, it took 6 months for people from Afghanistan to get TPS, and it only took about a week or so for Ukrainians to get TPS. And so we're seeing, I think, similar things along the southern border where Ukrainians are being subject to Title 42 as asylum seekers, but they are being processed under exceptions, and there's a lot of attention and focus on them, which is good. There ought to be. And this may be the situation that finally changes the policy of Title 42.
You mentioned Title 42, but break it down for people who have never heard of it before.
Sure. Title 42 was announced 2 years ago in March of 2020, and it's under the Health and Human Services Code, and it is this argument that we are closing the borders to all asylum seekers. Now, of course, this was announced before there were wide COVID testing, COVID vaccinations, and everyone who has looked at the policy has said it is not really needed for public safety at this point in time, and yet it remains in place. And the result of that is that all of the asylum seekers from all over the world come to the border. They're not able to apply for asylum, and then they stay stuck in Mexico. I work with a nonprofit that works with asylum seekers in the border. We recently did a study of all the people that we helped over a certain period of time, and almost 50% of them had been subject to kidnapping or attempted kidnapping by the cartels. It's an extremely dangerous situation for asylum seekers. And I think the thing that's really important to remember is that we had a functioning system to vet people for asylum, to put them through a credible fear interview and test whether they qualify to stay here and be protected as a refugee. And all we need to do is return to that policy. We don't have to invent or create some new method of processing asylum seekers. We had one that functioned for 40 years.
So explain the difference when we talk about these disparities, right? The Ukrainians are fleeing an act of war. Their homes are being bombed versus, someone escaping maybe gang violence in Central America that, the country has an overall gang violence problem, but maybe it doesn't seem as immediate as the Ukrainian need. Is that the theory here?
Well, our asylum laws, which have been in place for over 40 years, say that a refugee is someone who is fleeing persecution on account of a protected ground, which are their race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. So that might be someone from Russia who is opposed to what Putin is doing. It could be someone from Ukraine. It could be someone from Central America who is opposed to gang violence and has spoken out against gang violence. It could be a domestic violence victim from Nicaragua. There's lots of people from all over the globe who qualify for asylum, and is this developed and robust body of law that our country has established ever since the end of World War II. We agreed upon what is a refugee. And so it's not something that we can say, okay, Ukraine qualifies and Haiti doesn't. It's an individualized case-by-case assessment. And that's why it's important to provide the credible fear interviews so that anyone from around the globe who has suffered something and they're fleeing something can arrive at our border and they can say, I think I qualify for asylum, and we have a structured system in place to assess that and to make a determination. And if they don't qualify, they can't stay. But if they do, then they can. And so that would be my argument, that instead of just having a blanket closure of the border to all asylum seekers, which, as I mentioned, is really not in line with our values ever since post-World War II, we should return to the system where we say we give everyone a chance to apply for asylum. Now, not everyone qualifies, but the people who do can stay.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.